Now, let's talk about these no-nonsense statistics on rape that you love to bring up. Everyone, please look at these screenshots. This was from White Igniter's video, and it's about the women's rights movements and how they're racist. They're so-called racist, according to White Igniters, because they're silent about the black on white rape cases, and how they let these numbers go unchallenged. While at the same time, he ignores these so-called stats of white men who've been committed of rape. Now it seems to me that white igniters, you really don't care too much, or you don't want to raise awareness of the thousands of white women who have been raped by white men. So white women, he really doesn't care about y'all either. But yet he's for white people, but want to ignore the numbers of the accusers who are white. Wow. Now shouldn't the women be offended by these accusations, the lack of propaganda that's brought out? I mean, you have white women who've been raped by white men, but yet white igniters, you're not putting their story out there. You're not raising awareness about them either. The white on white rape cases should be just as important as the black on white rape cases. But yet you ignore that group. See, this also again just shows that your movement is straight up BS. You have a racist agenda because if your agenda wasn't racist, then you would be against rape, period, regardless of race. Now, I got this off another video, but I'm going to use this as an example to the BS propaganda. Now, as you can see, this is a poorly written info by this YouTube user. Because how is it that you have 7 numbers but 1 comma? Y'all see this? But anyway, as you can see in the picture, it shows that out of the 2 races of men, black men have committed more rape cases than white men. And also, White Igniters is also pushing the propaganda. Check this screenshot out. White men are a virtual zero when it comes to violent acts towards black women. And this is off the same video of the women's rights. Alright, everyone, let's go back to these silly ass stats. Now, I'm not denying that there aren't any black on white rape cases, but White Igniters, the way that you're putting this out to your viewers is inaccurate nonsense. The reason why I'm saying this is because, okay, people, let's get real for a second. When it comes to white women, white men rape them also on a large scale. They're up there in the thousands, so these stats claim, for both black men and white men. So it's not safe to be with neither one of them, because if it was safe to go with the white men, then there would be a 0% rate. But it's not. According to these statistics, it's around 40,000 white men who have committed rape. I mean, how is it possible to ignore that? Regardless if black men are higher than whites, the fact remains that the numbers are not only large for black men, but also an extreme amount for white men. But now let's look at it from another aspect. See, these statistics on rape are not accurate numbers. Statistics are BS. Because they don't even provide strong, valid evidence. Because you have to factor in, from both black and white men, how many of them have been wrongly accused? How many of them have been convicted, but then later they're exonerated by a DNA test? And how many of the men have persuaded women to remain quiet and not say anything by means of fear and intimidation? You can't. Because women did not report them, so who knows for certain? Statistics are BS because they do not provide strong, valid evidence. Oh, and also, let's factor in the women who have been raped by men who hide their identities. And the women now don't even know if it was a black man or a white man that raped them. And also the women who lie about being raped or assaulted. Like that dumbass girl, Ashley Todd, who said she was assaulted by a black man, but realistically, she caused bodily harm on her damn self. Write the letter B on her damn face and said that it was a black man that did it. Wow. Now, another flawed point that white igniters made was white men hardly ever commit violence acts towards black women. Now, I know there are white men out there who are with black women, but majority of the white men are not, especially when they desire a white woman. Now, from a majority standpoint, white men, let's be straight up. Now, when it comes to what they desire in a woman, are black women at the very top of the totem pole? Please, someone answer that for me. If so, then it would not have been stated that white women are the standard of beauty in the female gender. If white men are at the top and they're the shit when it comes to the male gender, then why would majority of the white men want to settle for second, third, or fourth best when they can have the top prize based on their so-called standards? Y'all see what I'm getting at? There are a lot of white men, but yet these so-called stats show that they're going for white women. So out of that majority of white men, you have some rapists who's mingled up in there. And then it's plastered into their mind that the white women are the standard of beauty. And that's what they desire the most in the female gender. So, of course, they're going to favor more towards the white women than they would black women. Because keep in mind, there are stats that show that white men do rape. So who is it that they're raping? Exactly my point. Majority of rapists in the white men gender are going for what they most desire, and that's the white women and not black women. So therefore, that's why there's a small percentage of white on black rape cases. People with common sense, read between the lines and find out what's presented to you to be complete BS. Straight up. White igniters, your statistics that you're pulling out your ass are not 100% accurate. Your agendas are not true, and I see right through that BS. Now, you can deny it all you want, but every video that you're putting out, you're exposing yourself more and more. You leave out a fraction of whites who've been harmed by their own race and won't even raise awareness on how many of those white-on-white cases have not made to mainstream media and how many of those crimes have gone unchallenged. A lot of them also, a lot of them. Because you yourself, you're not bringing them out as you do with these black on white crimes. How many of them white people have been victims of their own race? So, go and continue to make your videos about black on white crimes, but you and I both know that deep in your heart, you know that your motives are not true and genuine. Because you're leaving a fraction of white people who are victims of other white people. So you're leaving them out high and dry and not raising awareness about them. You don't want to acknowledge them, and I think that's pretty jacked up on your end. So be real with yourself, white igniters. Blacks are not the only ones victimizing you. White people, you're also doing it to each other. Now be real on that.